Hello YouTube, and it is I, the amazing Kitty Sotis, with another video. And I thought I would respond to something, or not respond, but comment on something on a clip from the Synthetic Man's review of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And without further ado, let's get into this video.
And the queen was we'll say dark elf. So despite the fact that the Gerudo are clearly supposed to be like the Middle Eastern inspired race, I guess you could say, but they might even be a different species than Hylians, I'm not sure. They could be like a Sari and just take genetic material from Hylians to make more Gerudo, right? But no, now there's actually a lot of Hylians that are various shades of brown throughout the world. And of course, one of the founders of Hyrule set the stage for the entire series, created a wonderful Wakanda-esque utopia, is one of these brown Hylians. Almost literally, we was Kangs and shit. So much for Skyward Sword being the beginning of the series. And to dip into the schizo paint a little bit, the king being a goat man, who are the Zonai people who came from the heavens, is borderline satanic imagery. I have no idea if this is intentional or not, but Japan used to be infamous for putting weird Christian symbolism in anime and occasionally video games.
Oh, you mean Neon Genesis Evangelion? Actually, there's more Jewish Kabbalistic symbology in Neon Genesis Evangelion than there is Christian symbology.
So this could be an extension of that, or again, if you want to take the schizo angle, this is a result of a certain cult organization full of quote-unquote elites that are subtly inserting their propaganda into video games. There's all sorts of little nuggets of wokeness, like Paya now having a giant brown boyfriend who looks like a Giga Chad in comparison to Link, despite the fact she was thirsting for his dick in the last one.
And it's not like they haven't had like imagery like that in stuff like that in other Nintendo games. Like you can now catching on to the fact that Nintendo has put stuff like progressive stuff in there, like.
Not to mention the quote-unquote subtle homosexual imagery from Breath of the Wild has been expanded even further in this one, and I already know people are gonna say I'm reading into it and no kid's gonna see this shit, but that's exactly how you desensitize people and how you groom them, right? You expose them to things. The vow that each of the new sages takes to Link looks like they're proposing to him. And Sidon, the giant shark guy, people already made a bunch of gay lewd images between him and Link when Breath of the Wild came out. Well, now
Yeah, the one particular one that I want to comment on is this one.
Beginning of the series. And to dip into the schizo paint a little bit, the king being a goat man, who are the Zonai people who came from the heavens, is borderline satanic imagery.
That is not satanic. That is pagan. That is pagan. Do you know what god Baphomet is modeled after? You know what deity Baphomet is modeled after? I'll give you a minute to think about it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. It was Pan. And by the way, there are depictions of Jesus doing these hand gestures. And that's where Eliphas Eli got his inspiration for this image you're seeing. See, this looks more pagan than what we would find in the Bible. What is a more accurate description of Satan? Of what satanic, that which is satanic. Saint Paul, the Apostle Paul. And no wonder even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. Like, what imagery comes to mind? What individual come to mind when I see evil? When I see politicians, the most, like, politicians, televangelists, and what is it? Politicians and televangelists. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a God-fearing man. Marriage is between a man and a woman. 5 years later, I support gay marriage. Yeah. That's the face of, like, hypocrisy. I'm for diversity and inclusion. 5 years prior, or not 5 years, years prior, was hanging out with people like, at least that's what I've heard. But there are many examples of Joe Biden being, of having said one thing years ago, and then years later just lies and tells a complete fabrication that just contradicts something he said years ago. And he just lies about being. See, that's the face of that's the face of evil. Hypocrisy is the face of evil. Charlatans are people who are like whitewashed tombs that look beautiful on the outside, but are full of dead people's bones in the inside. In the same way, on the outside, they look righteous to people, but inside, they are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. You see, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And how many of these politicians just only care about getting into office? So they tell some long-winded story. People fall for him, and they're this is not like that that evil, bigoted Donald Trump. And yet people vote for this guy, who has a history of it. Vote for her, who has a history of lying to the American people, to their face. Said marriage was between a man and a woman. And yet, years later, comes out and just says, I never said that. See, this is the face of evil. One who puts on a smile, this fake smile, but you know what's behind that smile. Duplicity, hypocrisy, lawlessness. One who would say that evil is good and good is evil. This is what evil looks like. Evil is not evil is not that. That's just some caricature of evil. That is what people think evil looks like. This is what evil looks like. Evil is not always this. Most of the time, it's this. Most of the time, it is in the appearance of an angel of light. Attractive person. But peel back that veneer, that illusion, and you see evil for what it truly is. You see, it is not a man's appearance. The man must look beyond the mere appearance of things in order to understand the nature of evil. And this is not evil. Or, depending on who you ask, this is not satanic. This is not biblically. People make this into a caricature of evil. As a caricature of evil. Because they didn't want people to worship Pan. But people ended up worshiping Pan anyway. Eliphas Eli certainly was a worshipper of Pan. Because he represented Baphomet as in the image of Pan. The god of everything. The deity of everything. That image of Baphomet is not satanic. Or at least it's not biblically satanic. This is biblically satanic because evil is not always that. It's not Klaus Schwab with that Bond getup. It's not always that. Most of the time, evil is an angel of light. Is someone in the guise of an angel of light. That is about all. Peace out.